which was produced by CW. The Flash was Grant Gustin, or is Grant Gustin, sorry.
Yep.
Candice Patton as Iris.
Yep.
Danielle Panabaker as Caitlin Snow, Killer Frost. Rick Cosnetti as Eddie Thawne. Carlos Valdez as Cisco, or Vibe. Tom Cavanaugh as Harrison Wells. Wentworth Miller as Captain Cold. Dominic Purcell as Heatwave. Jesse L. Martin as Joe West. Keenan Lonsdale as Wally West. Neil Sandilands as Clifford Defoe.
The Thinker.
Yeah. Teddy Sears, first introduced as Jay Garrett.
Which wasn't true.
Which you lied. He's actually Hunter Zolomon, or Zoom.
Yep.
Tom Fenton played Alchemy, or Julian Albert, same.
Yes, and that was when he played Alchemy, he was playing off Savitar. It was quite a role because he himself didn't even know he was Alchemy.
Yep. And for those of you who don't know, Tom Fenton is also Malfoy, Draco Malfoy in the Harry Potter series.
Something else that you folks probably don't know, or you do, if you want to catch Wentworth Miller and Dominic Purcell, they started off on the Legends TV show, also on CW, and they also worked together on Prison Break.
Yep. Best season so far is season 2. Best ratings went to season 1. And as for which Earth, this would be, well, you're going to have to say it's probably Prime.
Yep. As far as it goes, it would have to be if Garrick is from 3, this would be Prime or 1, and we would sit there and look at more characters crossing over from different Earths. We have Supergirl on
27, 23?
I don't know.
23, I think it was.
Yeah, she's out there.
Yeah.
She's down the list. But when they want to bring certain characters forward, they have to grab them and they have to transport them back.
As for season 5, possible new Flashpoint with the appearance of the Flash and Iris' daughter from the future.
That's going to be a problem. Bringing somebody in from the future has always created a Flashpoint, and if she wipes out what that is going to happen, did we have the death of Barry Allen at the end of series 4?
Or was he crippled,
or what happened? Did she save him? Did something else happen? Again, Flashpoints are touchy little points.
Yep.
Because you had the Reverse Flash on the first Flashpoint,
yep.
who was in a cell.
Yep.
And the longer they stayed in Flashpoint, the weaker Barry got to correct it because he was adapting to it being permanent. What happened by season, I guess, is our best way to look at it. Season 1, we had the introduction and backstory of most of the characters that are permanent on the show. You brought in other characters to assist that were either throwaways or not important at this time, and where they created metahumans and what happened to certain people along the way, like Firestorm. Okay, yep. We had Eddie Thane, that was the love interest of Caitlin Snow, was killed when the reactor went off.
Yep.
And everybody got doused with radiation. This happened. We created metahumans, and the Flash was born. We had a lot of issues along the way. How close are they to keeping with the comic book story? I believe they're trying. I believe the same scenario happened on all Earths for Barry Allen. He gained his powers and what could be considered becoming the Flash. I guess except Earth 3, where Jay took over. Now the fun part about that was when we got to season 2, we got introduced to Zoom. Zoom was evil incarnate. He wanted to rule everybody. He wanted everybody's Speed Force. He created a need for himself by pretending to be Jay. And then later on we found out that the man in the Iron Mask was actually Jay, which he actually looked just like, Henry. The problem with all that, Henry got thrown in jail. He got released from jail. He got sent home, and then he was killed at the end of the season, which threw Barry into
turmoil,
complete. And he went directly to creating and trying to save his mother, thinking that if he saved his mother from the Reverse Flash, that his father would never have landed in jail and he wouldn't have been killed by Hunter Solomon. It created a ball of wax that just spun out of control. Now, how much did that change things? Not just in the Flash's world, but when season 3 came and Barry came to his senses and left the Flashpoint, he created another timeline, which it was felt all the way through the CW DC universe. You had children that were born, sons and daughters that became opposite sex, such as on Arrow.
Yep.
It just created issues. And Barry tried to make amends. He tried to tell people he was sorry. And, later on, this will be something that he decides he's never going to do again. But during that season, we got some of the best characters that came out. I mean, season 2, you got Gorilla Grodd came back. You had the Reverse Flash returned. And when season 3 came along, you had Tom Fenton come as Alchemy. You had Savitar. Savitar decided he was going to kill Iris West. Gave time and date when she died, and even a video was there. And everybody tried to figure out a way to stop Savitar. And what it ended up being was Savitar was Barry Allen, but a remnant that had supposedly died, and that Barry created just to take somebody out. But he didn't die, and he didn't go away, and he survived.
Yep.
And the remnants, the time remnants, are not supposed to survive. They're supposed to phase out and be done.
Yep.
It was horrible.
Yep.
A couple of more mentions before we get too far to season 4. I want to go back to season 2, and I want to talk about Time Race. Time Race were incredible. They chased Barry. They chased speedsters. They're death incarnate. They're coming to get you. And all the time, every time you use the Speed Force to an extreme, and you slip into the Speed Force, they're there waiting for you. Yep. And when you come out of the Speed Force, if they're close, they'll come with you. And they've chased Barry. They've chased the Reverse Flash on Legends. They are just nasty. But they have some of the coolest wares if you look at their mask being torn, the skull underneath. The special effects crew have to be commended. They've done a great job. Everybody needs to recognize them for what they've done. Season 4, we end up with the Thinker.
Yep.
Now, the Thinker is a brilliant individual. Not only was he smart enough in advance of gaining his power to think about what he would need, he knew that Flash coming out of the Speed Force at a certain point would create metas, which was never really explained how that happened.
Yeah.
But he changed people to where he wanted to absorb their power,
Yeah.
to become or to utilize those powers all in one being.
Yep.
And we were introduced to a new hero during that season, the
Yep.
Elongated Man.
Yeah. Ralph Digby.
Ralph was a private eye. He was happy with a miserable life. And then all of a sudden, he gains the power of being able to throw and change his body shape, throw his arms out into, I don't know, giant gloves, if that's what he decided, or became very close to well, Mr. Fantastic.
Yep.
And he was not a major character, but he is in the DC universe. And the way he was introduced slowly, and his powers were developed and mentored by Barry, it was quite something.
Yep.
And then, unfortunately, Barry had to watch him be absorbed by the Thinker. As Barry's laying down and not able to move to stop him. At the end of season 4, we saw the demise of the Thinker. We also saw the Elongated Man return.
Well, that brings up a question, though. Is the Thinker really dead? Or is he living somewhere in Ralph's mind somewhere?
Well, the other question also is what happened to all the other powers?
Yeah.
You know, they were the Thinkers, and now the Elongated Man overcame everything and came out of that. Are they ending up going to test him to find out if he has any of the residual powers of the other individuals that were absorbed?
Good question.
Now, where Flash is going, I have no idea.
There's mention of Batgirl coming, or Batwoman.
Batwoman. Big reveal for the beginning season. For every year that they've started in the last 3 seasons, they've done a part. We had, unfortunately, the evil planet Earth that had the Nazis.
Yep.
We had the monsters.
Yep.
And now I believe we're going to be introducing Batwoman, Gotham,
Yep.
and, well, we're just going to have to wait and see. We don't have much longer.
Nope.
We've probably got about 2, maybe 3 weeks.
Yeah, I would say.
And this is going to be something that we can revisit at another date and see how they're doing at the end of season 5. But I believe their way of introducing characters is a quick backstory to the beginning of a new series. I believe Batwoman is going to be the new one coming out. I've also heard rumor of Batman or Superman coming to the CW. And we know DC as having works the Titans, and I believe there's another show coming. Not sure, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yep.
DC Universe is expanding.
Oh, yeah.
How much they're going to give CW license to do is going to be something to watch for. I hope that the shows are not going to only end up on the DC Universe and it's going to be a pay channel that you have to pay for separately and watch online. But we'll have to wait and see.
Yep. Well, that's it for today. 2 thumbs up, or 4 thumbs
Oh, yeah.
for The Flash. And we'll see you next time. Thank you very much. Don't forget to subscribe and like, please. Thank you very much.
All right.
Okay.